We are trying to change telephone companies, and the other day we rang a whole bunch. Most of them were, I don't know where, I don't know who we were speaking to. It certainly sounded like we weren't speaking to anyone in Australia. It sounded like long distance, and they had American accents, and it sounded almost computerized. It wasn't the recorded message, it was a person, but it sounded computerized, awful. Anyway, and then we finally rang this other place, and we could tell it was actually an Aussie this time. And it doesn't matter, but it's just nicer to know that you're speaking to someone, in the same country. And so they're just easier to understand. It doesn't sound like you're talking to a robot. But she was like extreme. She was just a real talker, and every question we asked her that just needed a one-word answer, she was like, would give us a whole sentence or a whole paragraph, a whole spiel, and in answer. And at the end of every answer, end of every sentence, she raised her voice like this, but really, really bad. And I'd never been able to notice before how Australians raise their voice at the end of a sentence, because at the end of every sentence she rose her voice like this, and my husband put her on speakerphone because he was talking to her on the phone, and he put her on speakerphone, and I was sitting there laughing my head off quietly, of course, so that she couldn't hear. But literally every sentence was finished with a rise at the end of her sentence. There was no questions that she asked us. It was all just explaining everything, and her voice rose like this at the end of every sentence, and she spoke like this long for every answer that she gave. It was beautiful though. We were just laughing our heads off the whole time, and so we thanked her very much and said goodbye. But it was classic.